Hello YouTube, today we are going to be installing this giant mass mirror, the Hemnes from Ikea. Bought it a couple weeks ago. This thing is pretty heavy. I've never hung something so heavy on my wall before, so hopefully nothing bad is gonna happen. You see this here, it's 27 pounds. This mirror doesn't come with any mounting hardware, so went out to Home Depot, bought myself some drywall anchors. This one's rated 50 pounds. I have no idea if it's 50 pounds each or if it's 50 pounds combined, but I'm gonna just assume the worst case and it's 50 pounds combined. Best case, if it's 50 pounds each, it'll hold up to 100 pounds. But let's just assume that it's 50 pounds combined, roughly double what the weight is of this mirror. So I think I'm in good shape. So as I said before, this thing doesn't come with any mounting hardware, so let me turn it around for you. So this is what it looks like, the mirror turned around. I mean, from further away, you can see that if you're gonna hang it vertically, all it is two of these mounting brackets that it has on either side. It also allows you to hang it landscape, as you can see from the top and bottom anchors. So you can do that if you wish, but all you need is really 2 screws in the wall, and you should be able to just hang this on. It looks like there is, you probably want to measure your hole from here and not here, because once you put it in, the mirror is gonna actually slot on to the screw. So you want to make sure, if you want it where exactly the height you want it, should probably measure from here. One of the things you want to make sure is the screw that you're gonna put into your anchor. You want to make sure that it's tight enough when it's actually mounted that it's not going to come out. This one looks just a little small, actually, but it doesn't look like it's going to come out. I don't think the mirror is going to be moving like this, especially with the other screw on the other side. So, I mean, another idea would be to put a washer on this, and that way you can guarantee it won't come out. So now we have to measure the dimensions of the mirror, left to right. The width was 29 inches, top to bottom was 65 inches. And then now I need to measure from the place where the screw is going to come out to the top and also to the sides. From top to the screw, it was 7 7/16 inches. From the sides to the screw, it was 1 1/8 inches. I made an adjustment where I actually put the screw into the bracket and measured to the screw. I thought that would make for a more accurate measurement. So originally I did measure out all the dimensions. I was planning to mark on the wall the dimensions and just calculate everything, but with such a heavy mirror, I decided to just set it on the floor first. And that way I can actually see if this is gonna work for my space. Like I can actually stand here and just pretend to use it and to see whether or not, you know, if it being slightly off center would bother me. And this is not exactly center, but it also doesn't bother me. And it's actually far enough from this drawer here where I don't think that it's so close that that it'll look bad, or if I pull this drawer out that it would hit the mirror or anything. So it has a big enough gap here. I like the positioning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to trace an outline of this lightly so I can erase it later, and then basically shift it upwards, and that way I can have a solid outline. Because the mirror is so big, sometimes it's just, unless you have like a really long ruler,
it is hard to get the markings right. So you might as well just use the mirror and then just shift upwards. So that's what I'm gonna do. Before you use your mirror as a template, set your mirror on the floor and use a leveler to ensure that it is level. So, drew a really faint outline here, so I can erase it later on. Now I have my outline. I know how much to shift up this line according to how much I want to shift the mirror up from the floor to the proper height that I want it. So I measured from the floor up to right below the outlet, and I need about 9.5 inches. So I'm going to shift the top line up 9.5 inches. All right, so far these faint vertical lines I drew are at right angles, and I'm going to extend them up 9.5 inches. So I extended the line up. I basically took a ruler, did on each of these little vertical lines that I drew with the speed square, I went up 9.5 inches on every single one. And then I marked it on the top and I drew a horizontal line across. And then I extended the original corner, I extended it up to that line on both sides. So now I have the true position of my mirror when I hang it. And then now all we have to do is measure out from the top, 7 7/16 down, and 1 1/8 across is where the screw is, but then you also have to take into account the radius of the screw, which let's take a look at right now, which was about, because I measured up to the actual screw, so radius of the screw. It's about 1/8 of an inch in diameter, so it's about a 1/16 in radius. So I'll take the, let's see, 1 1/8, and it would really just then be 1 3/16, and then 7 7/16 would be 7 7/16 would just be 7.5 then. So we'll take from the side it would be 1 3/16, and from the top it'd be 7.5 inches. All right, so I marked both sides. I basically measured 1 3/16 across and 7.5 down. Same on this side. These are where the screw holes are going to be. I just want to make sure to double check that this is the right position. I'm going to put the screw in the back, and I'm going to lift up the mirror just to take a look. If you have any sort of this kind of putty-like material, you can buy it at your local hardware store. It might be easier to fix the screw to the back of the holder, and therefore you can kind of like move the mirror and see if it'll actually line up to the hole. You might need a partner to kind of help you examine, especially if this mirror is heavy, like this one. So after I put on the Yoo-hoo tack or putty, the screws kind of look like this. So I'm going to lift the mirror just to double check that the screws align with the marks I made. So here my wife is holding the camera, and we have the screws protruding from the back, trying to line up the frame to the top of the outline that I drew, and to see if the screws actually hit the X's that I made to where the screw holes are actually going to be. And my wife here is telling me that it's not quite accurate. It's a little bit off, but I'm pretty confident that as long as it's within the vicinity that I got it
right. I think it could be the angle that the screw is being held at right now by the tack. That could be making it off. But I was pretty confident that I got the right spot.
So, I'm gonna drill these in, the anchor bits.
Alright, you finally come to the final step. You have your screws in, tightened to the wall. Now you gotta put this heavy mirror onto the two screws. This is best done with two people. This is so that one person on each side can see if the nails are indeed in the bracket and that you don't accidentally drop the mirror on your foot or drop the mirror on the floor. And success! We finally hung this mirror. The leveler on top looks pretty level to me. Definitely very happy with the way things turned out. Looks like even the lines that we drew are hidden behind the mirror, so I don't even have to go and erase them. So, my first time hanging one of these things, and yeah, I'm just happy that I got it done. Thanks a lot for watching.